Good day, everyone. This is Miss Valley Gaming, and my name is Dread. Once again, we have a little bit of a negative article or a article about um kind of the foreseen downfall of the gaming community. Like, what the hell is going on with the gaming community? So we're gonna focus on the second part of this video, which is by Yellow Flash 2. First part is about Kotaku journalists targeting Asmongold, and that's almost nothing new. People on the far extreme left in their political and their agendas don't tend to like Asmongold very much right now. He's outspoken on things as he sees them, and I applaud him for that. But we're focusing on the second part of this. Xbox officially bans sexy women from video games. This is all going back to Sweet Baby Inc. working with Xbox and what's going on here. So let's dive into this. The original video linked down below. Let's go.
Drop. And then there's this. So this was some big news that dropped yesterday, and I wanted to pull up Sweet Baby for a reason. So if you go down here to the bottom and look at their partners, by the way, they've removed games from here. I'm pretty sure there were more games on
That
here
they have
before. And some of their clients, I think.
Looking, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Warner Brothers, Rocksteady, Avalanche Studios, Wizards of the Coast, Remedy. Start looking at some of these companies that are working with Sweet Baby Inc., partner with Sweet Baby Inc. You're going to understand there's some large and fairly important studios here that are working with this company in order to sabotage gaming. And when I say sabotage gaming, and first of all, let me back up just a moment. Let me put this out here. If you're visiting this channel or you're hanging out on this channel and you're someone who likes to put pronouns in your bios, who likes to have people address them by certain pronouns, you're someone who has who identifies maybe as a certain gender, maybe a different gender or sex that you were born with. If you're gay, lesbian, trans, or whatever, all those kinds of people. I'm talking to you for a moment. I'm telling you, Miss Valley Entertainment News, if you want to hang out here, you're still welcome to. So don't get me wrong. I'm not pointing my fingers at people who, in my opinion, have issues in life that I don't always understand. I'm not pointing my fingers at you and saying you're bad people or you're not welcome here at all. What I'm talking about so much in the gaming community is groups of people like Sweet Baby Inc. They're an actual corporation group of people, or gaming journalists or gaming companies who are pushing an agenda on the rest of us. So who are saying, no, we're not going to make a game that doesn't have the ability to put pronouns in. I think you should be able to make a game that doesn't have pronouns in it. I think that's choice. I think that's free market. I think you should be allowed to make a game that has pronouns in it, and I think you should be allowed to make a game that doesn't have pronouns in it. I think you should be allowed to make a game that has gay and trans characters in it if you want. Absolutely. I also think you should have the ability, maybe I'm going to sneeze, or trying not to. I think you all should have the ability to make a game that doesn't have those characters in. If you want to make a character that has no straight white men in, I think you're allowed to. I don't think it's a good idea, but I think you're allowed to. And if you want to make a game that has straight white men and that doesn't, these are all different choices that as companies, gaming companies, can make these choices. But as consumers, we will look at that and we will say whether or not we agree with that and whether or not we choose to purchase and support that. That is free market. When you have people trying to bypass free market, which I think is what happens, and force something, no, you all are going to buy games that have this, and this, and this in it and don't have any straight white males, or that kind of thing, or very close to that kind of thing. When that's being forced on gamers, then that's an agenda push. And I stand against being forced to do something in general. All right. So this is not to point fingers at individual people who are having issues that I just can't completely understand because I don't have those issues. Okay. And this is still a place where if you're one of those people, you want to come here and you want to hang out for whatever content, or even to get involved in discussions like this to give the other side, you're certainly welcome to. Okay. So let's get that out of the way right now. But yeah, I've got major misgivings about a lot of this stuff. Let's get into what Yellow Flash 2 is saying about this.
Are gone. But this one is still here, and this one's the important one.
Look at these three.
Xbox Game
Look
Studios.
at those three. Wow.
Partners with Xbox Game Studios. I believe that means every studio under that umbrella, which is quite a bit, including Bethesda. Well, the reason that I'm bringing this up is because of this piece of news that dropped the other day. Microsoft cautions developers to avoid curvy female characters.
Oh, boy.
Isn't that interesting?
Please make them sexless.
Why the Fable chick looks the way she does?
Please make the characters sexless, because we don't want people to be able to look at a character and guess which sex they were born at. We don't want people to be able to do that. We want an androgynous characters only. People, what is happening to the gaming community? What is happening? What kind of parasitic virus has infected the gaming community? What I want to know. Why are they self-destructing on purpose? Drop down and let me know. Drop into the comments.
In case you don't know what that looks like, here's that ugly character.
Oh, she's beautiful. I mean,
ugly.
If she was a real life person, she may be a beautiful person on the inside. And goodness knows, ladies, if this even is a lady, in real life, ladies, you're not all tens. We do know that, right? When we find a woman that we love, oftentimes it's not all about the appearance, but the appearance is the first attractor usually. Many times. But we certainly know women run the scale of 1 through 10. I mean, looks-wise, that's just the way it is. So do men. But, women don't concentrate on that in men quite as much as we men do because we're wired differently. But as far as attracting men with characters that look nice, because that's attractive to men, does this make you want to play this game? No, this makes you want to run away from this game screaming. It seems to be this push by society and now being taken up by gamers, gaming community, gaming developers, that white straight males are men. White straight men are bad. That our ideas of beauty are bad. That our ideas that we want to have a nice looking woman is bad. People, that's not bad. That may just be different than what your life experience is. You may see things differently, but that doesn't mean, if that's my view, that my view is bad or wrong. Why is that so hard for some people to understand? What is wrong in people's brains that they don't understand these things?
This is supposed to be the woman, I guess, in Fable 4. It's going to be hilarious if you can't change that mug. But this was a big thing when this was shown. These are the kinds of characters that are female that you can expect from Microsoft from here on to whenever, because they are working with Sweet Baby. And boy, oh boy, I'm sure that this is going to be a big seller.
Are you really sure about that?
You want to know why Microsoft is putting out warnings like this? It's because of Sweet Baby and all the DEI, ESG shit. It's just funny. Like, to be inclusive, you have to make females gross. And this has been an industry-wide trend. The picture here is from a South Korean studio, from Stellar Blade. They still like to draw pretty females. It's one of the basic things is sex sells. So I always find this funny. Like nobody wants to play this character on the right,
Nope.
except for weird journalists like Alyssa.
Yeah.
They want to play as this character,
Roku
but
Katu.
most people don't. Not even women. Not even women. So this is went out. Microsoft urges developers not to create female characters with exaggerated body proportions on their official site to support game devs. The site titled Product Inclusion Action help customers feel seen. Got to see yourself. Got to see yourself. Includes a bullet list of considerations they urge developers to make when working on their product. One Twitter user pointed out the language expressly condemning certain female characters as reinforcing negative gender stereotypes. Are you referencing?
Hey, I know reading out loud is difficult. I know when I do it, it's difficult to always get things right. But this person, Yellow Flash 2, you just said, are you referencing? That's not the word referencing. Slow down, look at your words, and make sure you get them right. It's reinforcing. Are you reinforcing any negative gender stereotypes? Not are you referencing? Pet peeve.
Any negative gender stereotypes? Are you unnecessarily including gender and gender barriers into your code or design?
Are you unnecessarily introducing gender and gender barriers into your code or design? So let's break that down into two things because there's an and there. So are you unnecessarily introducing gender barriers into your code and design? So barriers, things that make you go down one road or another and keep you on those roads when it comes to gender. And then are you unnecessarily introducing gender into your code or design? Your gender is a part of life, and it's pretty difficult to have a character that you want people to see as alive, people play, your character is portraying a living being in the game without having gender. Unless you're playing an alien race that is genderless or something, I don't understand why anyone would ever say this sentence or ask these questions. Fucking weird is that?
Are you creating playable female characters that are equal in skill and ability to their male?
Now, most of the time this happens. Most of the time nowadays, female characters don't have any, debuffs to strength or something, as opposed to a male character. They're able to do everything a male character does. And quite honestly, I know that's much easier from video game design just to make both characters play the same. I don't actually have an issue though when personally a game does that. It says, hey, your female is going to have one less strength or one less stamina, but maybe they'll have a little better charisma or something along those lines. I don't have an issue with that actually, because in real life, and I know video games don't have to be real life, they're not real life, they're a game. But when representing real life, I don't have an issue with them showing that there's a difference between male and female. I really don't. It doesn't make me not want to play the female, as long as the charisma buff you get from being a female, which I totally agree with for the most part, as long as the charisma buff is actually helpful, I don't have an issue with a small debuff to strength, for instance. I don't find that sexist. I just find that realism. I don't have an issue with that personally. What about you?
Peers. Are your female characters equipped with clothing and armor that fits their tasks? Do they have exaggerated body proportions? When the story allows, do you show male characters who display a full range of emotions, including joy, sadness, and vulnerability?
So they want their female characters to look like men and do everything that men do. And they want their men to act more like women. Can you read all this and say that Xbox is not pushing an agenda? Can you honestly read this and say Xbox is not pushing an agenda on gamers?
Ability? Hey, Microsoft, why don't you focus on making games people actually want to buy your shit for?
Yeah.
That's an idea. Considering the PlayStation is outselling you, I don't even know. It's a big number. I can't remember exactly how many, but there's like, I'm just pulling this number out of my behind, but it's like 5 PlayStations to every 1 Xbox Series X or some shit. It's pretty bad. I think it's 3 to 1. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but the point is PlayStation is outselling Xbox pretty badly. So, maybe, I don't know, make better looking characters. They're more focused on this bullshit than actually making good games. And That's the problem. That's the problem. Maybe instead of worrying about this shit, why don't you worry about making the game good? That's the problem, this DEI, ESG shit. It's cancerous. And once it gets in there, it just destroys the game.
I agree.
So Microsoft just destroying themselves all the time. Kind of sad to see.
Yes, it is.
Used to really like Xbox. Was really into Xbox back in the day, especially that first Xbox. That was my first time playing like online stuff because it had that built-in broadband. So I remember playing like Halo and all that stuff on Xbox Live. It was a good time. And, look how far they've fallen. They used to be very, very pro gamer. Sad.
Yeah. Again, this original article video here will be linked down below in the description if you want to go check it out. I don't really have too much more to say on this, but I wanted you to be aware of what's happening. It's important as gamers that we're aware of these things, I think. Whether you support or don't support what's going on from Microsoft and Xbox, and whether you think they're pushing something or you think I'm just blowing smoke up everyone's ass, drop down below, be respectful in the comments, and make your comment and be heard. Get a discussion going, or conversation going, or continue one someone else has started. It's all in good fun. It's all about having discussions and stuff here, but. I love discussing good stories. I love discussing great games, but we have to take a look at the gaming industry as a whole here, and we got to point out when we see things that are ruining things for gamers. And that's what companies seem to want to do. They want to continue to push this agenda until years from now, we're all so used to it, we give up arguing it, and they win. And then they push something else. They're trying to kind of remake society here. Into some kind of androgynous society here, some kind of society where there is no sex. I don't mean lovemaking, but there is no sex. There is no male and female. It doesn't matter anymore, which is fucking crazy. It will be the downfall and the crash of civilization as a whole if that actually goes through and happens. It is absolutely fucking crazy. Excuse my language, but I just please let me know what you think. From Miss Valley Entertainment News, actually. Watching one of my videos from Miss Valley Gaming over here, I did a first look at the game Deliver Us Mars, which I haven't checked, but I would be surprised if Sweet Baby Inc. or another company like that was not involved in, because let's just say if I was scoring this game out of 10, I would have given it a 0. Because uninteresting characters you not only don't like, but automatically hate them all as soon as you meet them. And sexless, ugly females that look like dudes. It's a fucking terrible game. It's my opinion, is a fucking terrible game. And yes, this kind of push and this kind of shit does ruin video games. It absolutely does. I'm News Right, everybody. Good night.